This video will shock you to know that there are many Rajput masqueraders who are murderers in Punjab, and Punjabis in India are executing them as America is killing German masquerader murderers in the United States. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, where I provide a unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. I regularly post videos of celebrities in the United States and some other parts of the world whose deaths were reported in the media but who were actually put to death for the murders they had committed to obtain help from German masqueraders who are people of German ancestry living in white countries to achieve success in their chosen careers, particularly in sports, music, and entertainment industries. They had met the German masquerader hurdle qualification of murdering a white adult and a child of non German ancestry in the United States, most of whom were cremated alive in electric crematoriums. Between 5 and 6 million white Americans have been cremated alive over the past 50 or so years, but mostly between 1970 to 2001. An additional 3 to 4 million have been medically murdered, besides food poisonings in restaurants, serial killings, and other means. The German hand has been very heavy against all peoples who fought them in World War II. In addition to the Americans, the British, the French, and Russians, they have targeted Sikhs in Punjab state and India because they were represented heavily in the British Indian Army and fought the Germans in both world wars. Therefore, they have targeted Sikhs to destroy them. The Germans have been very successful in murdering tens of millions around the world in white countries because of the existence of German masqueraders in all of them. The native ethnic population cannot distinguish the masqueraders from their own people because they carry similar names, speak the same language with the same accent, follow the same customs, and practice the same culture. Only the masqueraders knew the secret till about 20 years ago when they and the full scope of their activities was discovered. The Germans have also found success against the Sikhs because Sikhism is a religion with many ethnic groups represented. However, another element is present in Punjab and even in the greater Punjab area consisting of the Indian states of Punjab, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Jammu and Kashmir, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, and Uttarakhand. Rajputs who belong to Rajasthan state have been masquerading around as ethnic Punjabis and Sikhs in all these states. Just as German masqueraders have murdered white adults and or children of non-German ancestry, Rajput masqueraders have been murdering Sikh adults and children in all these states for decades, though not in the same huge numbers as in America. But they have not held back in getting rich by exploiting the Sikhs and other Punjabis because Punjabi Sikhs have considered them as one of their own. Though the existence of German masqueraders in America was fully discovered around 2000 to 2001, the existence of Rajput masqueraders in Punjab has only been discovered recently, perhaps only 4 to 6 years ago. This is a devastating discovery for the Sikh population because out of the approximately 30 million Sikhs worldwide, about 27 to 28 million live in India. Now we find that among these 27 to 38 million Sikhs in India, we may have millions who are Rajput masqueraders among us and are our deadly enemies, engaged in murdering us with the goal of destroying us at the bidding of the Germans, for which the Rajputs have been handsomely financially rewarded over the past 6 decades. They are also well represented among Sikh military men. The problem is further compounded by the fact that they masquerade around as some of the best fighting Sikhs, the Jats of Punjab and Haryana. Rajput masqueraders also masquerade as other non-Sikh Punjabis, meaning Hindu Punjabis. They also likely number in the millions. Though this is devastating news because the number of Punjabi Sikhs is reduced by millions globally, the silver lining is that after 4 to 5 year effort, they have been identified. The murderers among them have also been identified. Just as the United States is executing German masquerader murderers who achieved celebrity status, as well as others who have benefited financially, Punjabis have also started putting to death Rajputs masquerading around as Sikhs or Punjabi Hindus who have murdered Sikh adults and or children. In this regard, let me flat out state that 37-year-old Deep Sidhu, a Sikh actor, political activist, and lawyer, was a Rajput masquerader and was put to death around February 15, 2022 for the crime of murder, which helped him succeed in his film career. He was put to death in an orchestrated road accident. In my February 17, 2022 video, I had incorrectly reported that Deep Sidhu was murdered by allies of German masqueraders, likely Rajputs. Only now I have learned his true identity as a Rajput masquerading around as a Punjabi Jat Sikh, and that he was executed by Punjabi Sikhs to avenge the murder he committed. On Sunday, May 29, 2022, the Sikh rapper Shubdeep Singh Sidhu, popularly known as Sidhu Moosewala, was shot dead by unidentified gunmen while traveling. He was 28. Sidhu Moosewala was not a Punjabi Sikh, but was a Rajput masquerading as a Punjabi Jat Sikh. He was also executed for the crime of murder which he, or more likely his parents, committed of likely a Sikh child, which helped Moosewala succeed in his music career. On May 31, 2022, a former college colleague of mine, Punjab of Punjabi origin, reported the untimely death of his 22-year-old son, a budding musician, in an accident. He accidentally fell to his death from his house terrace, as far as I could gather from the reported news. The shocking part that I learned is that this colleague is not of Punjabi origin, but is a Rajput masquerading around as a Punjabi Hindu, who also dabbles in worship with Sikhs at times. His son did not die of an accident, but was pushed to his death. He was executed, most likely for the murder of a Sikh child committed by his father, which probably helped get the father his good education and then find success in his career and also in theatre. The devastating news for Punjabis is that all Sidhus are Rajput masqueraders. Their numbers could be quite large, which means we have that many deadly enemies of Punjabi Sikhs. In addition to Sidhus, there could be other Jats who are Rajput masqueraders. In the same way, there could be many Punjabi Hindus, numbering in the millions, who are actually Rajput Hindus, hence our deadly enemies. A little more information on who committed the murders. Most likely, the existence of Rajput masqueraders was discovered only 4 to 6 years ago. Therefore, they could have been murdering Sikh adults and or children till that time. Since Deep Sidhu was 37 years old when he was put to death, it's likely that he committed the murder of a Sikh child and or adult himself. Deep Sidhu Moosewala was 28 when he was shot to death. Most likely his parents murdered a Sikh child, for which they are forced to experience the pain of a child being murdered. The same is definitely true in the case of my former colleague. That means they have to pay for the crime themselves as well. Punjabi Sikhs and Punjabis now realize that they have a bigger problem on their hands because there are so many Rajput masqueraders in our midst who are our deadly enemies. But we will take on the challenge. Just as white Americans of non German ancestry continue bringing German masqueraders and other murderers to justice, we Punjabi Sikhs will continue to bring all the murderers to justice. So you will see more Rajput masqueraders being put to death for their crimes. In addition, we know that the goal of all Rajputs and Rajput masqueraders is to utterly destroy the Sikhs. That automatically becomes our goal as well as all Rajput masqueraders are concerned. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos and read my articles on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook channels, Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, to view and get information on the latest videos. Some people do not have the time to go through the full length of videos. They find it more convenient to read the text of the video. Unfortunately, YouTube does not provide the capability to make the text of my videos available on YouTube. But fortunately, Facebook does provide that capability. So I make the text of my videos available on my Facebook channel, which you can then easily copy.